Living below your means is the foundation of financial peace. If you want to do better with your money, the number one step that you must know and hone in is living below your means. If you don't, you will always have problems with money, be it when you make less or when you make more. You will always have money problems or money issues. But of course, the problem is, or the big question is, how do you actually live below your means? That's what this video is about. I'm going to give you practical tips that I use and have used and continue to use to live below my means. My name is Lova. This is Money Conversations, where we are all about management, because we know wealth is not the flex. Management is. If you get anything from this video, then hit the thumbs up, because I am trying to grow this channel. All right, let's get into it. The number one thing when it comes to living below your means, the number one thing you need to get, and it needs to become your default, it needs to become second nature, is this. When income increases, savings increase. Our natural default, and I don't know who said us this way, is when income increases, spending increases. I don't know why we do this, but we need to change that. If you want to live below your means, when you come into new money or when income increases, your immediate thought process, your immediate mindset, your immediate goal becomes savings. I get to increase savings. It cannot be, I get to buy, I get to spend, I get to acquire, unless you're acquiring wealth, i.e., assets. And when I say savings, I'm talking savings or things that bring in money, not things that take money from you. For the sake of this video, whenever your income increases, that should automatically become your mindset. It should be moving into savings. Now, now I can go out, now I can spend. That alone keeps lifestyle creep away. Lifestyle creep is when you make more and all of a sudden your expenses seem to rise to the occasion, right? You could live comfortably with what you were making before, but now you start making more money, and somehow it just adds up here and there. And before you know it, your new income is barely enough, or it's just enough, right? That's how you cut that. That's how you get rid of lifestyle creep. It also keeps you from squandering wealth. But all in all, it keeps you living below your means, because now your income has gone up and yet your expenses have stayed the same. Living below your means is all about reducing your cost of living. To reduce your cost of living, you're either attacking the big ticket items or the small ticket items. The small ticket items are a lot easier to take care of, but you're going to have to take care of a whole lot of them to see a significant change or a significant decrease in your cost of living. Whereas the big ticket items, if you can take care of one of them, just one, you would immediately see a significant decrease in your cost of living. The big ticket items, there are just three of them: your housing, your transportation, your food. If you can cut back your costs in any of these three areas, you would immediately live below your means. Starting with housing, can you decrease your costs of housing? If you're renting, doesn't mean you have to downsize, especially if your income and expenses are bumper to bumper, they're right on, right? So we really need to find a way to cut one of these three areas, to decrease the cost in one of these three areas. Can you downsize number of rooms? I remember when I had just a baby, it was just hubby and I and a baby. And here I immediately upgraded to a 3-bedroom. I was in a 1-bedroom with hubby. We were just fine. Immediately, I'm like, well, we need our room, baby needs her room, and guests would need their room. So 3 rooms. We weren't even doing home office. 3 rooms, just like that, from 1 bedroom to 3 bedrooms. Knowing what I know now, we would have been just fine with 2 bedrooms, right? So can you decrease costs on housing? Utilities. I know it's going to be hard to decrease utilities, because utilities are what they are. And this day and age, they're so expensive. And so you're looking at other things in the house: your cable, your insurance, your streaming, entertainment, whatever else that goes into your housing costs. Can you decrease that, right? You move on to transportation, your car. Oh, if you own the home, you're looking at refinance down the road when rates are better. Some of us got into way too big of a house than what we need. We may want to downsize when things look better and we can sell. That alone would make a massive difference, right? Moving on to transportation, cars. If you're leasing a car, it's like renting a car, just to keep renting every 5 years. That's what it is. Forget the fancy name of leasing. It's a waste of money. You were better off buying a more affordable car. And even if you have monthly payments, at least at the end of 5 years, the car's paid off, and that cuts that cost of living. But if you're leasing, you will just continuously renting a car without any ownership. It makes no sense. Take that car in, get you an affordable car. You have a car note. How much is that car note? Do you need to downsize? Do you need to get a smaller car? And so you have two options. Work at paying that off ASAP, or you downsize so your car note is not as high. And then down to food. How much are you spending on food? How much are you spending on groceries? If you can cut that back, you're going out to eat, you're ordering food in. That's an easy way to cut back how much you spend on food. But then with groceries as well, where do you shop? Where you shop makes a big difference. What you shop makes a big difference. You don't have to buy brand name to have quality. For some things, you can go generic and get the same quality and yet pay less. So take a look at the big sectors: housing, transportation, food. If you can cut any of them significantly, you would make a bigger cut in your expenses compared to not buying Starbucks every day or not buying your Amazon $10, whatever on Amazon. Yes, it all adds up, but those are the little items compared to if you can eliminate that $200 car note. Is there any car note for $200 right now? Remember, this is what you spend on every single month. So if you can cut back on these big ticket items, then every month you would be living on less than what you bring in. Boom. It's a perfect segue to the next tip, even though I would have preferred saving this for last, but it's just a great segue. Living below your means is a lot easier when your means is higher. That's just facts. I've done both. I've lived below my means when I had less and when I've had more. And it's a lot easier when it's more because then you can cover your needs and whatever extra you want to do or you want to indulge in, you can and still have money left over. So technically, you're living below your means without doing anything, right? Compared to when you don't have that much, you cover your needs and, you try to just a little here and there and boom, you've used up the entire paycheck. Or to live below your means, you actually have to cut a need, right? Just to have something left over from the paycheck. So it's a lot easier to live below your means when you have a lot more, when your means are higher, which means at some point you do want to look into increasing your means, increasing your income, increasing the money coming in, because then you can relax, you can indulge in extras that are not needs and still live below your means. A great way to live below your means is to ask yourself, what does financial peace look like to me? What does that actually look like? For me, I wanted to be happy and comfortable in my home every single day. That's what financial peace looks like to me, where I am not having anxiety or stress over money, period. Whatever that money is, be it money for an emergency that comes up, money for should I get laid off or should my husband get laid off, or money for I want to go visit someone, I want to go somewhere, I want the family to go somewhere. I don't want to have to worry about that money. I want to stress about it. I want to be afraid of it or about it or buy it. Having that picture or knowing that is what I want, it was a lot easier. And it still is a lot easier for me to say no to what maybe my neighbors are doing, keeping up with the Joneses. It's a lot easier for you not to worry about what the Joneses are doing when you know what you want from your money, what you want your money to do. It's a lot easier for you not to give in to the temptation of spending, of borrowing. And by borrowing, I mean using your credit card when you know you shouldn't, right? It's a lot easier for me to say no to the trip that friends are taking. Well, why can't you do the trip? I've got plans. I already have plans for that money. I know what that money is doing. I know what that money should be doing, right? What does financial peace look like for you? What would it feel like to not have to stress over an issue that just came up, or the fridge that has broken down and now you have to get that repaired? What would it feel like not to have to worry about that? What would it feel like to have 6 months paycheck saved so you don't have to worry about layoff? What does that look like for you? And it would make it a lot easier to keep your expenses low and not give in to the temptations to overspend and overstretch yourself. And then always remind yourself of this. It's better to live well with less than to be miserable with more. It always helps me out. A very practical way to live below your means is to eliminate waste. Take a look at your expenses. You're going to audit your expenses. Now, audit sounds so tedious, so busy. You're just taking a look at where your money goes every single month. What can you let go of? What can you do without? What have you gotten into just out of habit that really overall it doesn't really make a significant difference in your quality of life? We live our lives day in, day out. We're on auto once again, this is the third video. I can't come up with a word. We're an automatic. It's just automatic the way we live our lives day in, day out. Time goes. We're busy people. We have a lot on our plates, right? And so sometimes with our finances, things creep in and we don't even realize it. So take a look at where your money is going. And this doesn't have to be, you should review your money monthly, but I'm being realistic for everyone. But those who are on top of their finances every month and those who are just, you go with the flow, you want to do this maybe every quarter, at least twice a year, is to take a look at where your money is going and cut out what is waste. Cut out what you may have committed yourself to that you really doesn't improve your quality of life. Living below your means, being a good manager of your means, right? So that you can actually have that room, that gap between your income and your expenses, right? When we can't increase the means, the income, then we have to manage our expenses, what we use, and give us that gap. And a very quick, easy way to get that done is to cut off waste, cut off things that really do not improve your quality of living. It's just something life happens and it just sneaks in there. Well, that is it. These are the practical tips that I use. So I know they will definitely help you live below your means in 2026. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up and I will see you in the next one. Bye.